Okay, so I recently went into a local video game store, specifically to get a bunch of Wii games, but I realized after I left the store that I actually bought Link's Crossbow Training for less than $1. Game collecting is something I've gotten back into as of late. I used to have a much larger collection with NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, and, you know, all the usual suspects. I decided to sell most of it a while ago to purchase some music equipment to pursue different interests. But that was then, and this is now. Now that I've launched my first venison flavored album, go listen to it if you want to, I mean it's not very good, but it's my baby. I want to get back into game collecting, mainly for this show, but also to say that I collect shovelware. Now we all know the Wii for its like 10 system-defining titles and then its literal metric shit ton of shovelware. Now, shovelware has been around since forever, even in the Atari days. Back then, if you could program a game, you could sell it, there's no quality control. Even on the NES, there are a ton of crappy titles. But let's be honest here. The 2000s, that was the golden age of shovelware. You know the ones. These kind. Here's the deal, these games are awful, and not in a good way. To me, I can appreciate their existence as a curiosity. When these games first came out, they were certainly not worth their regular retail price, oh god no, not even close. But these days? Is the Guinness World Records video game on Wii worth 75 pence? Sure, if anything, it's worth the entertainment of putting it in a microwave. The Nintendo Wii is at the perfect time in its age where everything is dirt cheap. GameCube? If you want to start a GameCube collection, or god forbid a Nintendo 64 collection, you better get to it quick, these prices are only going up, my friend. But the Wii? Oh my god, that little gimmick console, the Wii. If you want to start a game collection just for the hell of it, but you want to do it on a budget, the Wii or the PlayStation 2 is the way to go. But I've never really been a Sony kind of guy, so let's just stick with the Wii for today. This white brick has over 1,500 games in its library. Let that just sink in for a moment. 1,500 games, and out of all of them, literally around 1% of them are worth playing today. The rest is just shovelware or crappy license titles that are near worthless. Nobody wants them, and game stores can't get rid of them. I have challenged myself to go out there and see just how many games in this category I can get for the Wii for just $10. I was looking to expand my Wii collection anyway. Not that I had much going for it in the first place, I mean, here are all the games I have that are actually worth playing, and here's all the shit. Alright, so the title of the video could be seen as a little bit misleading. I live in England, we don't use dollarinos here, so let's just pretend that this is a $10 bill. I mean, it's orange, it's kind of like $10, right? Believe it or not, I do have $10 laying around, but get this, it's all in twos. Yeah, I just happen to have $50 in my house, but it's all in ones and twos. Okay, for the rest of this video, I'm just going to use the term pounds, just to make things easier on my sanity, because that's where I live. I live in the UK, I use pounds, I use the Queen's money, and I don't want to be stood there doing some currency math while I'm trying to figure out which version of Wii Fit I want. So, off we go, let's hit the town and see what we can scoop up. There are two kinds of places that I'm interested in visiting today. The innocent little charity store. That's right, your mom probably brought all your Nintendo 64 games here back in like '08. Possibly after clearing out your closet when she heard you shout a certain F word while playing Halo 3. She thought, well, he's too old for snowboard kids now, and just dumped them in the charity store. And for real, I knew a kid that actually happened to, and he had this. So I visited a couple of these stores in Newcastle City Centre to see if I could find some of the Wii games that I'm after, but I was sort of disappointed. I'm looking for shovelware here to maximize quantity, but I don't want to end up with a bunch of boring, samey sports titles. And I was stunned when I saw that they were charging a whole pound for a 10-year-old sports game. Like, damn, what a ripoff. I am after games that are under the £1 mark. I decided to take a stroll down the street for just a couple of minutes, and I went into the holy grail of cheap used games in the UK. And I've only got 3 letters for you. CEX. This is the Complete Entertainment Exchange, or just CEX for short. Or, if you're 12, these stores are everywhere in Britain. I am actually not joking about that. There is pretty much a CEX in literally every town in the UK. Going into one of these stores is quite surreal, especially if you travel a lot like me. I say that because every single one of these stores looks exactly the same when you walk in it. It's like, you know when you play Grand Theft Auto, and you notice that they just use the same interior model for all the stores in the game? Well, that's kind of what it's like. You could go to a CEX in Inverness or in Penzance and they would look identical. In all seriousness, I do love CEX because they feel like old video stores but in the modern day, so they're a ton of fun to just pop in and browse. Anyway, there are a bunch of these in the northeast, so I decided to hit up 3 of them in an afternoon. First one, I managed to pick up my first 2 Wii titles, Guinness World Records for 75 pence and Hannah Montana the movie for just 50p. Yes, seriously, I had that awkward conversation with the cashier and I felt so ashamed I quickly rammed the games into my backpack the first second I could so no one could see the filth I had on me. After a 10-minute walk, I came to my next CEX, and they have several shelves of just Wii Fit all selling for 50 pence. Now, I already have Wii Fit, don't get me wrong, it's great, but I don't want another one. Now, if I wanted to, I could have just bought 20 copies of Wii Fit and said, I got 20 Wii games for $10, and call it an evening, but I wasn't doing that. I want games that I don't own and are not sports titles. I came out with a sports title. So along with SSX Blur, I also got DJ Hero and Battle of the Bands, and my god, I will never play this. Now, just a note here at this point, I have only been to 2 stores and we are £3 in, and we already have 5 games. Now the next CEX store requires just a quick train ride to get there, but on the way to the station I did pop into this charity shop, and in and amongst the DVDs I found a copy of Okami. They were selling this one copy for an eye-watering £3, so I'm breaking my one rule here and I bought it. Okami is a game I have heard tons about but never played, so you know what? I can't wait to play this one sometime. However, I would be lying if I say that I didn't pick this up just to make myself feel better and make me feel that this trip was actually worthwhile. But that's the good thing about charity stores, when you buy from them you are helping a charity, so your money is going towards a good cause. I have just £4 left on my balance and I'm on my way to my 3rd and final CEX store of the day, and my god, this one is pretty huge. Just look at all these Wii games, and after some self-discussion and pondering on what to get, I finally settled on an additional 4 games. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Heatseeker, Alien Syndrome, and Michael Jackson The Experience, because why the hell not? However, I was not done here. The sun was starting to go down. I mean, it's January and I live in the northeast of England. It starts to get dark at 2 PM, what can I say? But I did see a store by the name of Cash Converters and I stumbled in. Cash Converters is basically like CEX in that you can buy and trade your old useless shit for somebody else's old and useless shit. But the difference being in that Cash Converters you can buy basically anything and not just limited to games and DVDs. And I will also mention that the stickers they put on their games are a complete pain in the ass to try and peel off. I mean, goddamn. I purchased the cheapest games I could and I ended up with Wii Rock Drum King and Hannah Montana Spotlight World Tour. That's right. How was your day? My day? I started the day off with just a handful of Wii games and I'm ending it with both Hannah Montana titles. Don't tell me there is no value in that. I think it might be about that time that I go to bed. But even after that, I still ended up with just a little bit of money left over. I was ready to resign for the day and return home with 12 games having spent £9, but I stopped one last time in one more charity store. And right there, mixed together with a bunch of crappy DVDs and the occasional PS2 game, was Fling Smash, priced at exactly 50 pence. I couldn't believe my luck. It was like fate. I was destined to own Fling Smash. So to recap, for £10 I got, in alphabetical order, Alien Syndrome, Battle of the Bands, DJ Hero, Fling Smash, God bless this game, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Guinness World Records, the game, Heatseeker, both Hannah Montana titles, Michael Jackson The Experience, the only good one, Okami, SSX Blur, and Wii Rock Drum King. And that, my friends, is how you spend $10 as a game collector. Fuck, did I just waste $10 for YouTube views?